What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTB Ravens Media, bringing you Ravens content every single day. If you want to see that daily Ravens content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell as well if you want to get notified every single time I upload a brand new video. Couple news things that came out. If you did not know, Ravens signed offensive guard James Carpenter to their practice squad, as well as placed Ronnie Stanley on injured reserve. And I talked about Ronnie Stanley probably going on injured reserve in the video that I posted yesterday, talking about the offensive line. So if you're curious, my thoughts on the offensive line, go check out that video I uploaded yesterday. The second half, I just talk about the cohesion of the offensive line, how it's playing, how I think it will play, and what the plan should be for the rest of the season. But in today's video, I wanted to talk about something that I'm sure a lot of Ravens fans have heard about. I'm sure a lot of Ravens fans are pretty upset about, and that is that in a press conference this week, Bengals linebacker Logan Wilson came out and he said, Lamar is a running back who plays quarterback. And I think a lot of people are looking at this as he's throwing shade at Lamar Jackson. And I want to know what you guys think. What are your thoughts on what he says right there? Because honestly, I think a lot of Ravens fans are overreacting to that statement. Now, obviously, Lamar Jackson is a quarterback. That's not what I'm saying by that. But I think the way that he said it, it seemed like it was him giving very high praise. It wasn't like he went out there and he's like, well, he's just a running back. Just make him throw the football. That was not the gist of what he's saying. I think a lot of people are taking that quote out of context. What he says is, yeah, he's a running back that plays quarterback. He's very dynamic. We got to figure out how to contain him. And we'll get into the game plan right there. Like, it's not like it was something where it's like, yeah, just make him throw the ball. Easy win. It's not like when Joey Bosa came out and said, yeah, once we knew that if we just hit Derek Carr, he'd fall apart. Like, that's disrespect. This, I felt like, was him giving praise and showing that Lamar Jackson is an incredibly dynamic player. And when he has the ball in his hands, he is a running back. Like, if he takes a step outside of the pocket, yeah, he can still throw. But right when he steps across that line of scrimmage, it's not like you're trying to tackle Russell Wilson. It's not like you're trying to tackle Trey Lance. It's not like you're trying to tackle even a Josh Allen. No, it's like you're trying to tackle LaShawn McCoy. It's like you're trying to tackle a Barry Sanders or a Gale Sayers, guys that come around once in a generation. And that, to me, I think is a great compliment to Lamar Jackson. However, there has been a lot of Ravens slander as of late, and I want to talk about a lot of that because it has been coming in a lot of folds recently. I've been keeping up with the media a fair bit, watching the shows the last couple of weeks, just because I knew there had been a lot of slander. I wanted to see what people are saying, and I wanted to see the narratives that they kind of shifted. And now it's becoming the point where guys like Stephen A. Smith, guys like Colin Cowherd, guys like, let's see here. I can't even think of other guys, but they've been praising Lamar Jackson. Keyshawn Johnson is another guy, but they've been praising Lamar Jackson. And they've been praising this Ravens team, where 2 weeks ago it was, oh, can he really win you a Super Bowl? Is he elite? And I feel like we Ravens fans have been so caught up in all of those narratives that every time somebody says something that may sound like it could be taken as criticism. Now, there's a chance I'm wrong, and he was trying to take shots at Lamar Jackson. And if I'm wrong, sucks to be Logan Wilson because he's going to be in for a really long day against the Ravens if, he doesn't think Lamar Jackson can throw. But, the teams that try and disrespect Lamar Jackson like that have typically completely failed when it comes to execution. Like Mike Tyson always said, everybody has a plan until you get punched in the mouth. That's the same thing with Lamar Jackson. But I feel like it was actual praise coming from him saying that he's a very dynamic player. I didn't think it was him saying Lamar can't throw or anything like that. But there have been a lot of people saying that Lamar can't throw. So I think that's leading a lot of people into this idea that everybody's out to get him. And a lot of times it does seem like that. But luckily, the Ravens have been playing great. The narrative is starting to shift. The energy around the Ravens is starting to shift. Now, there is still people saying, oh, he just can't win a Super Bowl and all that type of stuff. But the Ravens, They can't solve those narratives right now. They can't solve a single narrative about winning the Super Bowl in the regular season. It's not going to happen. They could go undefeated in the regular season. That doesn't prove they can win a Super Bowl. You can't prove you can win a Super Bowl until you win that Super Bowl. So when it comes to changing that narrative out of people's minds, it's not going to happen. Now, changing the narrative of, oh, Lamar can't throw, which obviously is very fake, he's changed that narrative. The narrative of that, oh, Lamar can't stay healthy. He's changed that narrative. He's stayed healthy. Like those narratives, he's able to fix. Oh, Lamar can't win a playoff game. He can't come from behind. He's fixed all of those. He's changed all those narratives. The only one is the Super Bowl. And I think everybody's focusing on that, and people are still saying, oh, well, he won't be able to win a Super Bowl. Until he wins a Super Bowl, he can't change that narrative. Now, I fully believe that he can win a Super Bowl. I am fully on that train. Don't take what I'm saying as something that I think that he can't. No, Lamar Jackson is getting slandered because people don't think that his unique style of play can win. I think it can, but I think whenever people are seeing that slander, they take any type of reference to his unorthodox style as slander, and I don't think it is. Now, if he had said it in a different tone, like I said, and was like, oh, yeah, just make him throw the football and you win. He didn't say that, guys. And I saw a lot of people getting really mad. I saw a lot of people quoting that tweet. I saw a lot of people commenting, and I was just like, I watched it. I didn't think it was that bad, but, obviously if it was, directed at Lamar as slander, I think that the Ravens, honestly, it does, nothing phases Lamar. So I don't think Lamar's going to go out there and be like, oh yeah, I really got to go after Logan Wilson today. No, Lamar's going to brush all that stuff to the side. He's going to play his game. He's going to try and win the game. But overall, the slander on the Ravens, not just with Lamar Jackson, Bart Scott. I didn't talk about Bart Scott on this channel. The Hollywood Brown disrespect that was going on all last week because he was trying to bring up Lamar Jackson and say, oh yeah, Lamar Jackson's MVP case. Basically, look at the scrubs that he's playing with at wide receiver. Hollywood Brown wouldn't be starting on the Browns. He wouldn't be starting on the Chiefs. He wouldn't be starting on the Bills. I believe he also said the Cardinals and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So basically saying, I think he said Scotty Miller was better. I think he said Christian Kirk and AJ Green were better. I think he said Emmanuel Sanders and Cole Beasley were better. And I believe he said Mecole Hardman was also better. Trying to remember all the names off the top of my head. I believe those were the guys he referenced. Also Jarvis and Odell, but Jarvis is kind of hurt. So, take that one with a grain of salt. But overall, I just feel like people have been trying to go after the Ravens in the wrong way. And they try and go out there and say, look at the terrible players he's playing with. That's not the way to do it. Now, you can say, look at the players he's lost and point at, he's lost Marcus Peters. Lamar Jackson has lost J.K. Dobbins. He's lost Gus Edwards. He's lost Justice Hill. He's lost Ronnie Stanley. He doesn't even have Nick Boyle. Like those types of cases for, oh, wow, look at the players he's playing with. He's missing all these guys is very different than saying he doesn't have wide receivers. He doesn't have running backs, doesn't have a good offensive line, and he's still doing it. Now, whether or not the offensive line part and the running back struggling part is true is besides the point, but you don't want to go out there and try and slander the Ravens wide receivers, especially Hollywood, who's been having a terrific season. He's had 4 drops that are memorable, 4 touchdowns that he's dropped. But even with those 4 drops, he's getting very open. He's making big plays, and he's very explosive in the team. He's looking like the player that the Ravens drafted. But the slander against Hollywood, the slander against Lamar Jackson, I think it's leading a lot of people into this idea that everything that people say about the Ravens is slander. I don't think that the Logan Wilson was slander. Let me know in the comments if you guys think it was slanderous or not. If you think he's throwing shade, if you think he's trying to get under the Ravens' skin. I don't think it was. I think he was just out there like, yeah, when this dude has the ball in his hands, he runs. Honestly, he's probably harder to tackle than any running back in the NFL. And I'm saying this right after Derrick Henry ruined the hearts of the Buffalo Bills, giving the Ravens sole possession of the AFC. But I think Lamar Jackson's the hardest player to tackle in the NFL. So I feel like it wasn't that slanderous. If he meant it as slanderous, obviously, then, he'll have to deal with that. But I don't think it was anything wild. But let me know what you guys think. Comment it down below. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe for more Daily Ravens content. And I will see all of you again tomorrow.